All right, welcome everyone to our focus. And this is week 3. My name is Yvonne Matson, National Executive Director. I am facilitating tonight's call. This is our 3rd call and it's our halfway point. Yay. So kudos to all of you that are here with us tonight. It's good to see so many on camera and your smiling faces. Thank you for doing that for us. Let's do a little quick review before we step into tonight's training. So in the last 2 weeks, and as I go through this, think in your mind, what is the biggest takeaway you've implemented so far since we started Focus? And I'm going to have you drop that in the chat. But our first week, we had our marvelous Marna Ross share with us tons of tips and ideas on how to get more bookings on our calendars. And that's where everything starts, right? Was bookings. And then we unleashed you to make all the contacts and the reach outs to build your calendar. And then in week 2, we had Executive Director Julie Gizzi share with us on building your social media presence, being authentic, her tips on building your business page, how to get engagement, how to use videos. She just had tons of wealth to share with us. So of all of that, just drop in the chat. What's the one thing you've taken away so far that's made the biggest impact in the last 2 weeks on your business? Ooh, I'm seeing the magic word consistency. Going live more, consistency, more videos. Reach out, be intentional. Love it. It's a common theme here. Are you seeing that? Yes. Okay. Being intentional, consistent, videos. I'm seeing, okay, those are 3 big ones that are taking top rank here. All right. And then last week, we had some homework that we left with you, and that was to continue with your reach outs and the follow-up. You know, the fortune is in the follow-up. If you've not heard that before, it's the truest statement ever. It's our job to do the follow-up. It's not their job to get back to us, although that would be wonderful. It's our job to do that follow-up. And that's where we'll see the most results. So continue to use that tracker, reach out, follow up. And then we asked you to Google something that you were curious about, something you wanted to learn, and just play around with that resource to help you become more self-reliant. I find that really helpful if you ever run into some techie issue with your iPhone or, I don't know, some social media. How do I do this on my business page? Just Google it, and you might have your answer and be really smart in a matter of 2 minutes. And then the 3rd thing we asked you to do was hand out and send out the landing page that we shared with you 5 to 20 times each day. And I am seeing some really good results from that. How about you guys? Who did that? What are you finding? Was that a pretty easy handout, reach out to do? Put it in the chat. Oh, not seeing. Did we miss that part of the homework? Don't stop. That landing page is good all month. That coupon code is good all month. So we still have time to keep using that. It's a great tool to do that one-on-one connection with those leads. And last week, we also talked about it being as your push week. And your push week means it should have been better than the first week. It could have been the same as the first week, and maybe it wasn't as good as the first week. So the good thing about number 3 is that you have another chance, another opportunity to do it this week. So who had a great push week? Who found last week was a good push week for you? Gene, that's good. And we've heard from some of you that you were surprised and thrilled that you were getting bookings and recruits from your consistent efforts. Amazing how that works, right? It works if you work it. And if you work it consistently, you will see the results. Yes. Back to that word again, consistency. So if you're stuck and you just don't know how and where to go, reach out to your upline. We're here to help you. They're here to help you as well. And tonight we're going to talk, we also talked about the more you apply from the trainings, the more results we're going to see. And wouldn't you know, it isn't always when I'm on a call that the little dog in the background's barking. Are you hearing that?
No,
Okay, good. So before I introduce our speaker tonight, not sure she's with us yet. She's a busy lady. She is actually running her own training with her director team. She'll be on here in a few minutes. So her time is very valuable and we appreciate her getting a guest speaker for her training so she could be on ours. So that's pretty amazing how we work together as a team. But as you listen to her and you think of questions, we're going to ask you to put it in the Q&A box, not in the chat, because it gets lost in the chat. The chat is for the comments and, you know, interaction. But if you have a specific question for a speaker, put it in the Q&A, please, because we'll have time at the end for that. So we just got a couple minutes. She'll pop on here anytime, I'm sure. Do we know who it is? Can you guess? Who wants to try and guess?
I told my team, so don't let them answer.
Okay, you have an advantage. I'm not seeing it yet. Keep guessing.
I'm
Robin.
looking.
They're saying it's you, Robin.
Oh, yeah, no.
Oh, there's one that's coming up. Nope, keep going. There's a lot of good names here.
And our speaker is not here yet.
Okay. Ooh, a lot of good suggestions. You guys seeing this? Some good speakers we can reach out to. This lady that we're going to hear from has 410 qualified career recruits. Okay.
Wow.
So get your pen and paper ready. Be sure to jot down things as she's talking that you want to ask her questions about. Oh, yep, someone guessed her. She's our very own Academy Award-winning Pampered Chef. There she is. She is here. This is Sharon Zallen. Some of you guessed it. Nobody knew who.
After the day I had, that really made me feel good.
Well, we're glad you're here, Sharon.
I'm glad to be here.
I'm just about ready to introduce you. We were having them guess who our speaker was, and I just told them about your career recruits, which is a pretty good award-winning, category, right?
Thank you.
So Sharon has been with us for 26 years and she's married to Scott for 37. She's got 2 grown children, son Danny and daughter Stephanie. And something so exciting is about to happen in Sharon's life. I'm excited for her as well. She's going to be a grandma to a little boy in May and then a little girl in July. How could you? She hit the jackpot. 2 in 1 year, one of each.
And she's very poor now from shopping. Very poor now.
Oh, and it's only starting. It's just beginning. So I said she started 26 years ago and she's always been a consistent seller. But it wasn't until 15 years into her business that she became a consistent recruiter. So she's earned many Circle of Honor awards in recruiting leaders. The one that makes it out, I think, and it's only been given 7 times in the company's history, is the Pampered Chef Legacy Award. So that's incredible. And we're very honored to hear from you tonight, Sharon. So thanks for hopping on and take it away, girl.
Oh, thank you so much for having me. And I feel like there are many of you on this call that haven't heard my story. So I just want to just go back a little bit. So I've always been a strong seller, but I was never a strong recruiter. And I want to share this with you because my story could easily be your story. I just felt like I wasn't good at it. I don't know. My director, Jill Lerna, who's a national executive director, and Jill and I grew up together, she used to say to me, I don't understand why you don't recruit. Why aren't you recruiting? And I'm like, I don't know, Jill. I just don't know. And it wasn't until I realized that we sell the business kit the same way we sell the bar pan and the rock crock. We sell the opportunity. And once you decide to make the business opportunity your favorite product in the catalog, that's when your business will explode. And you all have your favorite product. It's that product that you sell to everyone. It's the one that you're most passionate about. It's the one that you go live with, that you tell your friends about. You probably have the most comments on it on your parties because you're chatting about it. Could be the mix and chop. Whatever it is, you sell the most of it because you create that desire for it that people feel like they can't live without it. And that's why it's your top selling product. So imagine what your business would look like in 30, 60, or 90 days if your top selling product became the business opportunities. I just want you to think about that, because for me, it didn't happen until 15 years into the business when I finally realized I was selling the wrong thing. And it wasn't that I didn't love my business, but I was never talking about it with the same passion and excitement that I was talking about the bar pan. And that's why that stone was my #1 selling product for so long. So you guys are all part of this amazing group with these amazing national executive director called Focused. And you're here, and this is what I understand to be the 3rd call. So kudos to all of you for showing up and really working on your businesses. So you all deserve a round of applause for that, because many people don't even make it to week number 3. But this is where the rubber meets the road. And truthfully, I'm being brutally honest with you. We have been given such a gift this month from Pampered Chef with this opportunity. And I always tell my team 365 days a year, that kit is the best thing we sell in the catalog. When I used to do live cooking shows regularly, people used to say to me all the time, listen, I'm no idiot, but the best thing in this catalog is this kit because you get so much for such a reasonable price. So the kits are always a great deal. So you should be offering it all the time. But when you have a deal like this, where they can start a business for as little as $40, get $260 worth of products in that $40 kit. My God, you can't even take your kids to McDonald's for $40 today for lunch. And you can start a business for $40, get $260 worth of products, and have an opportunity to earn a $400 stand mixer. I mean, that is like, oh my God. We need to be offering this to everybody. So I want you guys to think about who you know in your personal life. Who do you know that's always on Facebook? Who do you know that loves Pampered Chef? Who do you know that could use some extra money? Who do you know that the last time you spoke to them were struggling and they were saying to you, yeah, I'm going to have to get a part-time job, or, I don't know if we're going to be able to do that work on the house that we wanted to. We all know in our lives who those people are. And here's something I want to share with you. If you call up a friend like that and you say, hey, Robin, I know you know how much I love my Pampered Chef business, but this month we have such an amazing opportunity and I can't help but think about you because the last time we spoke, you were telling me you were looking for something. Do you think Robin's going to hang up the phone and say, the nerve of Sharon, I cannot believe she offered me a job? It's a compliment when you reach out to someone and say, listen, I think you'd be great at this. My son is 33 years old. I was always the only stay-at-home mom in his group of friends. So I was the one organizing the day camps, the day trips, the water parks, the sleepovers. I was always the mom driving them all over the place. Well, there was one week in the summer, they were about 12 years old. And this, I want to tell you this because he's 33 and I still remember every detail of this phone conversation. They used to golf for a week, the boys, and I used to call the golf place and I would organize the week. I would collect the money and I would get it to the guy who ran the golf camp. And it was probably like 4 years into the 4th summer, I should say. And I called up the guy and I still remember his name, Mark. And I said, hey, Mark, it's Sharon Zell. I just wanted to organize the boys. They're going to do the week of July, whatever. He's like, Sharon, do you work? And I go, yeah, I have my own business. Why? And he goes, because we're looking for a coordinator for the golf camp. And I think you'd be great at it. I swear to God, I hung up that phone. My husband was outside washing the car. And I went outside and I said, Scott, that guy from the golf camp, he just offered me a job. That was so nice of him. I just want you guys to think about that. My son was 12, he's 33. I still remember his name, and I remember that my husband was washing the car and how it made me feel. So if you think for 1 minute that someone's ever going to be offended if you tell them that they'd be good at this and that you'd love to offer them an opportunity, you are 100% wrong. It is such a flattering thing to have someone say to you, I think you'd be good at this. Some people go their whole life and they never hear someone say that you'd be good at this. Their parents might have never said it to them. Their spouse never said it to them. Their current employer never says, I think you'd be great. And you have the ability to change somebody's life by offering this opportunity. So shame on us if we are not doing that every single day, because here's the thing. If you're coming in front of all of these people in your parties, and if you're doing virtual parties and there's 25 people on every party and you're doing 3, 4, 5, 10 a week, you are in front of a lot of people. So when you say, oh, nobody was interested this month, I've asked everyone, no, I couldn't get anyone. Here's another reason why I can tell you I've heard it all in 26 years and I've been through all of it. In December, I did not recruit one single person, not one. I had 31 virtual parties. Can I tell you that 31 people did not want this opportunity? No, I would be lying to you if I told you that. I dropped the ball. I was busy with prepping for the holidays. I had some family things going on. My daughter wasn't feeling good early in her pregnancy. I did not ask one single person to join my team. So was it a surprise to me that I did not recruit anyone? No. But I had a little coming to God call with myself at the end of December. They're nice to have these conversations. They keep you in line. And I said, Sharon, you know better than that. And in January, I recruited 10 people. And why do I tell you that? Because those people did not ring my doorbell or call me. I invited them to join my team. So are there people at every single show that need this business? Yes. Are they going to message you? Maybe 1 in a million. You have to invite them. We all have posts on our parties that inform them about the business. We all have recruiting posts, right? But are you inviting them? Informing and inviting are two different things. It's like if you're getting married and you put an ad in the local newspaper, come on Saturday at 1 p.m., we're getting married. Who's showing up? You have to invite people, personally invite them. You need to make that connection with them. And who is your best lead? We know it's your host. They booked the party. They love the products. Are you inviting them? And I wish I could tell you that the first time you ask them, they're going to say yes. Occasionally they do. I probably have 1 of 10 that will say yes on the first ask. We can flip this party. You all know the words. You've been around before. But how many of them do you ask a full 5 times? Until someone gives me a hard no, you have permission to keep asking, because I'm going to tell you what the first ask looks like. Well, the first response to the first ask, I should say. Well, Kathleen, I don't know. Let's see how this party goes. I've done something like this before. I'm not sure. That's not a no. That's someone that's not sure. And I respect that. And 2 days later, when they have 35 people in their party, I go back to that person and I say, listen, your friends and family love Pampered Chef. Have you given any more thought to the business opportunity? We can flip this party and it could be your grand opening. Well, I don't know. And again, some may say yes on the second ask. If they don't, you cannot drop the ball. You owe it to them to keep asking, because here's why people are saying no to you. Not because they love their job and every Sunday night they're doing a happy dance because tomorrow is Monday. That is not the majority of people. They're afraid. They're afraid they don't know enough about the products. They're afraid they'll fail. They might have done something like this in the past. It is our job to make them feel comfortable and give them that encouragement and that belief before they have it in themselves. How many times people have said to me, if it wasn't for you believing in me, I never would have joined. And I'm sure every one of you on here who is recruited has heard the same story. So it is our responsibility to continue to ask until we hear the no. And here's the other thing. It's okay to say, would you mind me asking what's holding you back? You would be shocked at what people say to you. Shocked. Well, I sold, jewelry in the past and I wasn't very good at it. Well, does that mean that they could never be in sales again? And I always make them feel better and say, I never, ever will knock another company, but we don't sell a luxury. We sell a necessity. Everybody eats and has a kitchen. It's a much easier sell to sell a product that everyone could use than something that maybe only certain people will like. Well, that makes sense. So it's okay to say, would you mind me asking what's holding you back? Because sometimes you'll hear something as simple as, honestly, I don't have the money. Bring up the kid credit again. You can join for free, but you'll never know what's holding them back if you accept the no as gospel. And you're not being pushy. You're just asking, would you mind me asking what's holding you back? That's showing that you care. So here's the deal. The other day I was listening to Mel Robbins. I love her. And she said something that resonated with me. And I'm going to share it with you guys. The truth is, nobody is coming. Bottom line, nobody is coming. Nobody is coming to push you. Nobody is coming to tell you to turn off the TV. No one is coming to tell you to get up and make your calls or send your messages. No one is coming. No one is coming to tell you to put your sneakers on to go exercise. No one is coming. No one is coming to tell you to attend these trainings that your uplines offer all the time. It's up to you. And because you only ever want to do the things that make you feel good at the moment, you need to understand that to reach your goals, you need to accept the fact that you are always going to need to give yourself a push. We can do so much for all of you guys, but you have to give yourselves a push. We have the most well-trained field at Pampered Chef. There's tons of training on bookings, on host coaching, on recruiting, but at the end of the day, nobody's coming. You have to push yourself. And listen, I get it. I hate exercise, but every day I have to go on the treadmill 3 times a day so that I don't have to go on medication for diabetes. I push myself 3 times a day, but I do that because my why is so strong. I don't want to go on medication. So I'm going to ask you, why? Why are you on this call? Why do you sell Pampered Chef? What are you looking for? Is it the financial freedom? For me, I can continue to stay in the house that I live in. My husband lost his business like 10 years ago and took a massive pay cut. So I work as hard as I work so that I can live in my house, so I could have the lifestyle that we've been accustomed to. So my why is what gets me out of bed every single morning and doing the same things every day, the same mundane things every single day to maintain the business that I have with Pampered Chef. So I need you guys to ask yourselves, what is your why? Is it that you have credit card debt? Is it that you want to earn additional income? Is it that you want to move up the career plan? Is it that you want to earn an incredible trip every year? You have to be reminded of what your why is, because that's what will get you off the couch every day. That will what will get you to show up to these training calls. That is what will get you to national conference. That is what will get you to do the little bit more you need to do every day that will get you to reach your goal. So let me give you just a few more tips about recruiting. So obviously we talked about the host. That is your first lead. But what about, and your friends and family that you're going to reach out to? But what about all the guests on your show? I'm sure you all have engaging posts where they all have to respond to you. How many, things are in the whipped cream maker? What's their favorite fruit? What's their favorite vegetable? We all have those engaging posts in our template. But what are you doing with those posts? Are you liking it when they say broccoli? Are you liking it when they say carrots and they message you? The reason you want people to message you is so you can start building a relationship as soon as that party starts. Like on my welcome post, when I welcome people, I always say, message me for the catalog link and you'll be entered into a drawing to win a prize. Now they could message me and I could automatically send them. I'm so sorry, I got a tickle. So they could message me and I could send them back the catalog link. And that could be the end of it. But that's not where it ends. You guys have to start the conversation. Hey, Misty, is this your first Pampered Chef party? Hey, Frank, are you a frequent Pampered Chef junkie? Are you a baker? Are you more of an entertainer? That's how you build relationships. Someone said to me early in my business, people will buy in spite of you. They book and sign on because of you. They're going to buy something to support their friend, whether you talk to them or not, most of them. That you can't influence. What you can influence is if they book a show with you or if they join your team. They have to like you to book with you, and they have to really like you to trust you enough to join a business with you. So building that relationship is critical. You need to start that conversation the moment that party starts. Have some sort of posts up where they have to message you. Because with crazy Facebook, if you just message them, you don't even know if they're getting the message or seeing the message. And here you are, they're not even answering me. Well, you don't even know if they're seeing it. So it's so important that if they open the conversation first, Facebook allows them to see your response, and then you start the whole conversation. So I'm going to tell you that that is the difference between night and day, building that relationship. Once they start trusting you, by the end of the week, they feel connected to you. And that's when they book with you. And that's when they sign up with you. And here's one last thing, because I know my time is limited with you. One of the things that I always say to people, and I've said this early on, and I still believe it's what gets people to join your team. Just give me 30 days, Julie. Give me 30 days to show you how amazing this business is. You'll do a couple of parties, you'll make some great money, you'll earn some great products for your kitchen. And at the end of 30 days, if you decide this isn't for you, you walk away with the money that you earned and the products for your home. There is no negative to this. And that's the truth. We all know that. But so many people are nervous. They think they're signing on for a lifelong commitment. And we know that's not the case. Doris Christopher once said to me many years ago, Sharon, it's not your job to find the next you. It's your job to offer this opportunity to everyone, and they need to figure out if it's a good fit for them. So I'm going to tell you that if you've had recruits that have done nothing and they ghost you and they're all excited 1 minute and then, they disappear and you're like, I'm never going to recruit again, or I'm turned off to recruiting. My last 6 recruits, they did nothing. You cannot give an absolute stranger that you don't even know that much power to control your business. Think about that. You're annoyed because an absolute couple of strangers didn't amount to anything or maybe ghosted you. So now you're not going to offer the opportunity in your next week's parties because you're pissed off, excuse my language. And yet at those parties next week, there's at least 2 or 3 people that were laying in bed the night before, unable to fall asleep because they didn't know how they were going to pay their rent, how they were going to pay their mortgage, how they were going to get out of credit card debt. And you're not going to offer them the opportunity because you're annoyed because the week before, some 3 new recruits that you don't even know them ghosted you. So when my team says that to me, I'm very annoyed. My last 3 didn't do anything. Well, what does that mean? There's millions and millions of people in this world. So you cannot let 3 absolute strangers that did nothing prevent you from asking 3 people the following week who desperately need this opportunity. Those are the people that show up to your party and spend $10 or maybe nothing and tell you, I wish I could have spent more, but I have everything. They don't have everything. We don't even have everything. They just don't know what to say to you. But those are the people that you need to offer the opportunity to. Those are the people that you need to connect with. They desperately need this business. So don't let what someone did to you in the past affect what you are going to do tomorrow. You need to invite everyone to join your team. This business is life-changing. I don't know where, I do know where I'd be. I'd be working in Manhattan and one of those people that would dread Sunday because Monday was work. I wouldn't have had the opportunity to raise my kids to be there for them throughout all those years if it wasn't for Pampered Chef. I thank God every day for this business and what it has done for me. And I feel it is my life's obligation to offer it to everybody else. It's payback. So somebody offered it to you, and it is your job, every single one of you, especially this month, where they can join for $40 and earn the stand mixer. Who's not going to take you up on that offer? But you have to be intentional and ask them. They're not mind readers. They just read it on a post in your party. You have to invite them. Does that make sense? Put it in the chat. Who's going for at least 2 new recruits? I want to see it. Let's blow it up. Me, Debbie said me, Terry said me. What? Oh, it's going so fast. I love it. At least 2. This is your time, guys. You could all be promoting on April 1 with this opportunity. You could sign 5 people in 1 week, even if you're a consultant on this call and you don't have any team members. You literally can promote on April 1 and recruit 5 people in this coming week with this opportunity. If you're inviting, if you're intentional, because that's what the difference is. Allison has a question, I think, Yvonne.
Please put your questions in the Q&A section because it's just going so fast. I didn't see it. Did anybody else see it?
No, I didn't. I was watching the Q&A too.
Yeah. If you wouldn't mind, if you have a question for Sharon, please put it in the Q&A section.
Oh, Allison's hand was, it means she's going to recruit. I love it, Allison.
Okay. Anybody have a question for Sharon, or are we all just like starstruck here?
And no question is silly, guys.
There are questions in the Q&A.
I'm not seeing them. Are you seeing them, Cindy?
I do. Do you want me to read them? Would that be helpful?
Because I'm not getting anything, so.
Sure. Hi, Sharon. Are you on Facebook? This is from Wendy. She wants to know, are you on Facebook or Table? And how are you approaching guests with the opportunity? How do you start the conversation?
Okay, so I honestly and I'm going to be totally transparent. I love Table. I had very high sales on Table, but I wasn't getting the bookings. So I came back to Facebook. So I asked my host before I even set up their party, every single host, we can turn this into your grand opening. My words are always, and I could share them with the girls. I always say the same thing. It's a standard message that I send every single host. Hey, Cindy, I know this could probably be the furthest thing from your mind, but have you ever thought about doing anything like this? I don't know if you're looking for some additional income, but we can easily turn your party into your grand opening. I will still run it for you, but in addition to earning the free products, you will also be able to earn the commission. What are your thoughts?
Great.
And second message is always the same thing. If they say, I'm not sure. You 35 people, just like I shared before. Obviously, your friends and family love Pampered Chef. Have you given any more thought to this?
Excellent. The next question is from, oh, they got scrambled. That one was answered. They're repeating. Do you think it's possible for your area and customers you work with to get saturated?
Oh my God, no. Especially with virtual parties. I have parties now in Alaska, in Iowa, in Washington State. I mean, you'll meet people on every single party that have friends that are all over the country. And when someone says to me, I feel like it's saturated, I always say, how many nail salons and banks do you have in your area? They all manage to find success. How many restaurants are in areas? I mean, yeah, no saturation.
Yes. So tell me a little bit about your onboarding, which would be a whole nother topic, but someone's asking, I'm not asking. Can you just tell me like maybe the first 3 or 4 things you would do with a new consultant?
Yeah. So as soon as a new consultant signs, we have new consultant training every Tuesday night, no matter what. Now, if that person signed like on a Wednesday, so I will do always a one-on-one call with my new consultant. I don't do a Zoom. I have an actual phone call, which young people flip out because young people don't talk on the phone anymore. They're like, you want to talk on the phone? I'm like, yes. And they're like, okay, I'll call you on my way home from work. So I always have like a 30-minute call. I just want to know a little bit about them and what they're looking for. You know, do they want to make $200 a month? Do they want to make $2,000 a month? Just what their why is, you know, are they a full-time, you know, do they have a full-time job, a family? I just need to get to know them because I need to know how to coach them and what their expectations are and that kind of thing. So if it happens, this phone call right after new consultant training, I then do not make them wait a whole week for new consultant training. And I don't like to send a recording. I like for them to attend it live. I will then spend some time with them on the importance of booking 4 parties in their first week. If they didn't just have a show with me, one of those 4 can be their grand opening if they were a guest on a show. Otherwise, I ask them to book 3 parties and their grand opening. So a total of 4. And then after that, I have a virtual party training group that I add all my new consultants to. And if you guys, I could send the link. You guys are welcome to take a look at it. The commenting is turned off. It's every single thing that a new consultant needs. I have short videos, and I know a lot of it is in Dash, but this is a much simpler thing for them. I feel like sometimes in Dash, a new consultant gets overwhelmed and spends too much time there. Not that the training isn't good. I feel like they get sucked into Dash. And I always say to them, the most well-trained consultant who doesn't have any shows is really not going to find success. So I want them to spend most of their time booking parties. So in my new consultant training group, I have little short videos that I made, scripts in there, overcoming objections. I have all commonly asked questions that a new consultant would ask. They're all there. Any of the graphics that they need, how to set up a business page, how to set up a Facebook group, the link for Post My Party. That's pretty much it. And then we have, you know, programs running all the time, like you guys are all a part of, but really new consultant training, the virtual party training group, and just staying in touch with my new consultants. Anyone that's new, I talk to or text with all week long. I want to make sure they have their 4 parties. What are their 4 hosts like? You know, could they be their their first consultant, their second consultant? I also want to know, you know, we talk about fast track rewards on new consultant training. And here's something else, guys. If you are not promoting fast track directors, you got to take full responsibility for that. I always thought asking people to do 4 parties in their first week when they were brand new was a lot. So I never asked them to do 4, but that was my belief. Once I flipped the switch on that, they didn't know any better. They're brand new. Once I told them that they could do 4, amazing things would happen. And I always tell them why. One may cancel, one may be a flop, but at least they're getting a paycheck from the other 2. But most of the time, all 4 were sick. And what happens when a new consultant has 4 parties in their first week? They made $600. They're like, woohoo, bring on week 2. But what happens if you tell them to book 2 and one's a flop and one cancels and they made no money? Those are the people that ghost you because they're like, oh, I guess I made a mistake. Well, their spouse or significant other is like, how much did you make in your first week at Pampered Chef? Nothing. And it turned into a nightmare. But if they do 4 shows in their first week and they made $600, $700, $800, they're like, this is the greatest gig in the world. What am I doing in my second week? Nobody leaves the business when they have shows on their calendar and they're making money. So it's so important for them to book 4 parties in their first week. And I tell them, I want you to make money and I want you to earn all these products. That's why we're going to start with 4 in a week. Okay. They only know what you tell them.
Excellent. Thank you so much. So you do these calls. What if, and somebody asked this, what if then crickets from them?
After the call, or they don't want to do the call?
Either.
Okay, so a lot of people say to me with those calls, well, they don't want to do the call. I always pose it like this. Cindy, my job is to help you get a paycheck in 2 weeks. Would that be helpful to you and your family? So this call is going to show you how to get paid in 2 weeks. I don't say to
Beautiful.
them, I want you to come on a training call. I'm going to teach you about this. That to them, it's wah, wah, wah. They want to know how to make money, especially the younger generation. They want to make money immediately. What do I have to do? So that's what I always make it about, earning income.
So what you have to do is accept the call from Sharon. Do you give them an outline for their first parties, or is that all in your new consultant training?
I do. I share my outline with everyone in my organization who wants it.
Sure, great. Do you have new recruits that start recruiting right away because you're talking about fast track?
I do. On my new consultant training, again, I barely talked about fast tracking. I was like, I can't ask them to do 4 shows. And how could I ask them to recruit? They haven't even done their first show. That was my belief. It wasn't their belief. I was sabotaging them before they got started. So no wonder I never promoted fast track directors. Once I made half of my new consultant training about booking and why that was important to do 4 a week, and the other half is about fast tracking, and there's $3,000 in cash waiting for them at Pampered Chef. There's an envelope with $3,000 with Kathleen's name on it. And if she doesn't take that, it goes back to Warren Buffett. And we know he doesn't need that. So I'm going to show you, Kathleen, how to earn that. Is that something you might be interested in? And they're all like, yeah. And then I tell them why it's so important to offer this business to their friends and family before they even do their first party, and make a list of who you know, just like I said to you guys. And they come back to me all the time. You told me to get 2 friends. I have 2 friends. What do I do now? And I always say, you let me know, and we're going to do a 3-way call. I'm gonna answer all
Absolutely.
their questions. Yep.
Excellent. Well, one more little question, and I know, Yvonne, you can't see these questions, but I'm picking questions that really pertain to recruiting. Do you ever offer like a kit reimbursement or enhance what the company offers? And
I
why?
do.
How would you determine that?
So if I have someone, if there isn't an incentive like there is now, and I have someone that is, I've made friends with them on the party, they've shared their story with me, and I feel good about this person. And again, have I been burned? Absolutely. But for the majority of the time, I will tell you that I pretty much can read it. And they say, you know what? I just have to save up for the other 25. They got a $25 kit credit, and they just can't afford the other $25. I will send it to them. Do I put a contingency on it? You know, when you qualify, I'll give it to you. No, because they can't afford it. So they can't even get to that point. So do I give them the money for that? Yes. Often, no. But if I feel good about that person, I do.
Great. I know I didn't get to all the questions, but I want to be respectful for Yvonne and closing out tonight because we only have about 10 more minutes. Thank you, Sharon. That was so fun.
Oh my God, my pleasure. Thank you for having me.
Thank you so much, Sharon. You're so appreciated and wow, inspirational too.
And if you guys need anything, Yvonne, you let me know. Whatever they need, I'll share with you.
We will. Thank you very much.
Thanks,
Have a good night.
guys. Have a great March. Bye-bye.
Wow, right? So I'm going to just give you like 30 seconds or so to look at your notes and pick out 2 or 3 things that stood out to you that you really want to apply this week. And I'm going to tell you how we're going to do that.
Yvonne, one of the things that my team probably is tired of hearing me say, but you just happened to mention it there. And I'm going to say it again and they can all roll their eyes if they want to. But when you make a change on a computer, if you're, changing the way that your program runs or you're changing an app or you're doing anything, at the very end, the last thing it asks you to do is hit apply. And we forget about that with our businesses. We need to hit that apply and put into practice the things that we've learned. And that's why we're doing these trainings a week apart, so that all of you can take what you've learned here tonight and hit that apply and make it work.
And I'm going to talk about being an applicator because that's your new term. We're no longer training junkies. We're becoming applicators. So I want you to just take a minute and just imagine that you have a room in your house that needs a new fresh. It needs to be refreshed. You need a new color. So you've chosen the color, you've taped up all the trim, you've thrown down the drop cloths, you got the pans, the rollers, you picked out the paint, you got the brush, and you stored and you opened up everything and you're done, right? Well, maybe if you've got someone else to do it for you, but nothing's going to change until you apply that fresh coat of paint. And that's so true of all these trainings. We've done all we've listened, we've taken notes, we've got inspired, but nothing's going to change in your business until you take those 2 or 3 things I asked you to think about and apply them. So this week, you're going to be an applicator. You're going to invite lots of people because we truly do have a gift this month. This is an exceptional opportunity. And did you get excited when Sharon said you could add 5 team members by April 1st, be a director or re-promote yourself? That's pretty cool. And it can be done. People are doing it all the time. So usually we get 24 hours in a day. Today we didn't, we got gypped by an hour. Usually we have 24 hours and they recommend 8 hours of sleep. I don't know too many people that get 8, but let's say you get 8 hours of sleep. Let's say you have another job that you're working, it's 8 hours, and then there's 8 hours left. And of that 8 hours left, how much of that are you willing to dedicate to consistently working your business? To consistently work on those follow-ups and those invites. Just think about that. Of the 8 hours that are hanging out there, other than sleep and work, how are you going to apply them to your business? So with that, I'm getting some messages from my co-presenters here. They're a little bit competitive. So they're wanting to have a little fun competition amongst the organizations. Do one of you that have been sending me messages want to go ahead and explain what the competition might be, or should we put that out there later?
It was Sherry's idea. I think she should talk about it.
Oh, Robin, we can't hear you for some reason.
Oh,
There you go. Now we can.
okay. I think Sherry should talk about it because she's the one that brought it up.
Yeah, Sherry? I think it sounds fun.
Okay, I will. It's someone, I saw someone in the chat say, hey, how many times have people looked at the landing page with the share the business or share the apron, say yes to the apron? And I thought, well, I don't really know. I haven't looked in a couple days. So I went and looked at mine and I thought, oh, that's good, but I think we could do a lot better. So I was thinking of creating a competition for my team, but maybe we want to create that competition between all of our national or executive teams. So I don't know if anyone else, if Yvonne or Cindy had a chance to look, but we've shared that landing page about the opportunity 329 times. So, yeah. For this team, I mean, I would like to see us hit 500 within the next week or so, maybe even more. But what about, did you guys have a chance to look? I've really kind of been pushing it. So
I'm
we-
looking, I don't know where it is, so you can tell me later. I don't want to hold up time with a tutorial. Oh,
no problem.
112, I found it, 112. So
Okay.
you're beating us.
I
Well,
haven't had a chance to look, so I'll check out afterwards.
sure, you've been working, but I'd love to just challenge this
Yeah,
car
good challenge.
organization to hit 500. Let's see, what's today, the 12th? I mean, I know that we have 20 some people that are gonna put their name in the drawing and I've sent back the information to the person who sent them to that. So they're gonna be in a drawing for our teams, giving away a set of the coated cutlery to someone who has filled out that drawing slip. So anyway, we'll see what we can do. 500 is the place to go, everyone. Let's see. By what dates? Throw out a date. How many? Yay, Brenda, I see. Say, go Car Stars.
Yeah,
Today is the 12th, 500. By the, I don't know, 20th, at least 500. I say by 18th. Okay, 500. So that means all of you that are on this call need to be sending it out more and more and more and having your team members do it as well.
Yeah, have your team members join in the fun, right?
yes,
Exactly.
yes. I think that would be fun by next week if we've all hit 500.
There we go.
Well, for the Schilling organization, we're gonna have to make our number a little bit higher because we're already at 532.
Woo! Okay, Car Stars, come on.
Maybe we should do it by percentage of increase by where you are now.
Yeah, right?
That's
There
the
we
team with
go.
100.
Gotta love this fun competitive spirit we got going on here. Yeah, let's see how much we can bump that up, okay? All right, guys, great time tonight. Thank you, Cindy, for helping me out here. I don't know
Sure.
what happened to my
I
Q&A, but
couldn't see it either.
you couldn't either? Okay.
Mm-mm.
And let's see, you got your assignments for next week, and we're gonna add on to that the little challenge for the landing page. Thank you, Sherry, for that. And we will,
Yvonne?
yes,
Can you just summarize the assignments one more time so that they have them real clear?
so they're gonna take 3 things that they heard from Sharon and they're gonna apply it. They're gonna become an applicator. And of the 24 hours in a day, how much of that 8 hours hanging out there are they gonna work their business? And then they're gonna continue with the follow-ups in the invites. And then they're gonna join into this fun little competition with the landing page. So let's see how many more views we can get. So four components there. And the reason I'm putting that 8 hours in there, because over a week's time, if you look at your reach outs and you look at your follow-ups, there's I don't know, 8 hours times 7, that's 48 hours. How much time does it take to make 10 reach outs? A day. It really shouldn't take more than 15 minutes, really. So there you go. 4 key points this week, and I hope you loved Sharon. We'll see what she's, she offered to share some things, very generous of her, and we'll see what we can get to pass on to you. Okay, have a great week, everybody.